Ahoy, salty dogs! Welcome back to the moon! My name is Lenscap, and today we're playing Stationeers. So I've been a little bit busy. I've been doing a couple of things. Did some mining. I rearranged the base a little bit to make room for this fabricator. This is the greatest crafting thing I've ever seen in this game at all ever. So you have to connect it to a computer, but it basically lets you build pretty much whatever you want. Here, let's make some wall kits. Because we're gonna need a couple of wall kits for what I want to do today. Let's just find the wall kits. Here we go. Kit. We want specifically the wall ones. Now, they need 1 gram of steel each. Let's make about 10 of these, for what we're gonna do. Yeah, so I reorganized this stuff a little bit. Moved some things around. We'll just let that fall on the ground. It's no big deal. And I started building the entrance to our future base. I'm not ready to move in yet because we're living underground. I don't want anything really exposed. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do our greenhouse because I'm not sure how we're gonna do that just yet. But so far, I've got a couple of stairs down into the depths of the moon. And that's as deep as I got. And I think from here is where we're gonna start constructing our base. I think that'll be really cool, and we'll use exposed moon rock as much as possible in the walls and stuff. I think that'll be a really neat look for our base. But today we want to focus on gases. We want to focus on gases and collecting them and that kind of stuff. I thought I had this idea that maybe it'd be cool to have these railings. And I think we could paint these. But I had this idea that I thought it'd be cool to have these railings around, and then maybe we stack some things in the corners just so it looks a little bit more, lived in and interesting. You know how I like to do. I like to build interest and make my builds look lived in and used. So yeah. So that'd be cool. But today, gases, right, is our focus. And I think on the moon, the easiest way... God, that shot out of there, didn't it? Look at this print, by the way. Look how cool this is. That's so cool. And then it launches out. That's so cool. Okay. I think the easiest way on the moon for us to get gases are with the furnaces, the various furnaces. There's the arc furnace, and then there's this guy that we talked about. That's just called the furnace. And both of those produce gases. So we need to create a way to capture those gases and store them for use later. I don't think we're gonna sort them today, but we do want to store them today, right? So we'll need to make another one of these portable tanks to store them in. I think we'll use a portable tank so that when we do build our filtration system, it'll be easy to pull them out of this portable tank and put them in the final filtration system area. It'll also be pretty easy to hook up this system to the portable tank as well. The hardest part, I think, is going to be rigging up this arc furnace to collect all of the gases from it. There's not a way to collect the gases from this. What we'll have to do is build a little airtight room that the arc furnace resides in, and then vent the gases out of that room into our containment system. So, let's use some of those kit walls and get started on a little room. I'm not going to do anything fancy or even permanent here. Ooh, what if we did windows? Let's do windows. And I think we can use the iron windows for this. Honestly, they're a little bit cheaper, the iron walls. So let's do that. Yeah, I'm not going to build anything permanent here today because we're not underground yet. You know, the plan, we're going to move our base underground. So the plan really is going to be ultimately to build there. And one on the ceiling. We'll just make it all out of windows. That's cool. Alright, so let's see. We're going to need a couple of other things. We need a way to pull the air out of this room. We need a way to store it. We need a way to get materials into and out of the arc furnace as well. If we're going to keep it in this enclosed room with no door, because we want to save the gases, we got to find a way to get stuff into it and out of it as well. Otherwise, what's the point, right? So we're going to have to think about that. I think the first thing we should do, though, do I have any iron sheets? Well, fortunately, I have this handy fabricator. Let's go ahead and turn it on and make ourselves some iron sheets here. I had planned on not putting anything on the ground as far as like flooring and stuff, but apparently you can trip over these cables or something. And I kept having trouble walking up to this. There's my iron sheets, though. Let's make about 20 of these. I don't need 20 right now, but I will for sure in the future. And I've got this recycler besides. I've heard people say that the steel sheets are actually more like resource efficient because you can like as you make steel, it's cheaper to use one steel plate than it is to use an iron plate because of how much iron you get. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not super concerned about using my resources wisely. Mostly I just want to build cool looking stuff. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna wait for these to print, and then I'll come back when we're ready to set up this enclosure a little bit better. Alright, I'm struggling to find the portable tank here in the fabricator. That could just be my failing, though. And, oh my gosh, all the stuff I made. Yeah, I made 10 chutes. Let's see if we can find all the other ones. They kind of have ended up all over the place, haven't they? I guess pay attention to your output. Eventually, we'll build a dedicated space for this to go so that it won't be like launched all over our work area. But for now, 9 chutes? There's the 10th one. Alright, so I made 10. I made 10 chutes. I made a couple of volume pumps. I made a sensor. I made a tank connector. I don't have the tank yet, but I think we'll be okay there. I've got some pipes already. I've got an active vent already as well. And we'll just need a way to basically hook all that stuff up. Let's see. We're going to need to take some iron sheets, though, and our welding torch. And we're going to have to weld these up at least one more stage. So let's do that, because we're going to want to put some stuff on top of those. And then I'm also going to need a frame. Do I have any more frames? Oh, no. You know what? I used all my frames building this. Okay, so let's make ourselves another frame. Let me find that real quick. There they are, iron frames. We just need one, and we'll end up picking this back up. But the reason we need an iron frame here, some of the stuff you can't place on a wall, and you can't place it floating, so you have to place it against a frame. Now we will be able to place it and then pick the frame back up, so that's a little bit strange, but it is what it is. You know, I don't mind that so much. Alright, turn this off and put the welder away. Alright, we should be done with that. I may have to remove that piece of glass, actually. Let's find out. So, against this wall, we're going to put our gas sensor and our active vent. Both of these are going to go on this wall here. So, let's see if we can do it. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Oh, no, we can put the active vent here. Yeah, we can put the vent, so we probably can put the gas sensor as well. I just have to get it in an orientation that's reasonable, maybe? Maybe not. Okay, let's try and take this glass out. What do I use this? Yeah. Cool. Okay, now can I place this? Ah, now I can. And we'll just put it here. Now we want it to be a gas sensor. Okay. We can pull the power from my stacked up these guys here. It's all temporary, so that's fine. We need to grab our arc furnace, and let's put it in this room as well. How's the best way to put this? Probably just like this, right? We put it like... like right here? Is it going to be a problem that it's kind of sticking out of the back? I would prefer to have enough room inside to do some things with, but I think that'll be okay. Yeah, most of it's inside the window, right? So it should still accept the gases. I hope. I'd be surprised if it didn't work. Alright, but anyway, so that's done. So before we wire things up, let's figure out where our pipes and things are going to go. We actually are done now with this glass sheet. We can put this back. That's all we needed against that wall. And I'm pretty sure that we're done with this frame too. So let's go ahead and remove it. And then I need this. Nope. I need this. Take that down. Okay, perfect. I meant to throw my iron sheet on the ground, not my wrench. Okay, we'll just stack those right there for now. They are fine right there. Okay, next we're going to need a couple of things. Let's grab this volume pump. And let's grab these pipes. And I need more hands. I need a third hand. Okay, so we're just going to wire it basically here. Let's put the tank connector in place first. And it doesn't really matter a whole lot where this goes because it's just a temporary setup, so let's just put it right there. Oh, did our sensor fall down? Oh, and so did the vent. That's interesting. Alright, so we do need the frame there after all. Okay, well, today I learned. Let's put this frame here. And then I guess we'll put the iron sheet on it too. I wonder if I have to leave the iron sheet on it or if just the frame has to be present. I guess we'll find out. I can turn off my flashlight since it's daytime once again. What happened to that volume pump, by the way? I may have to make another one. Okay, I guess we gotta take this glass out again. Today I learned. Alright, but anyway, the gas sensor, nope, not that. We need the gas sensor. Gas sensor, and then let's see if we can find that volume pump. I don't know where that went. I mean, there's the volume pump. I'm in the active vent. I'm not sure what happened to that. Maybe it's, I bet it's here. Yep, there it is. I knew it. Okay, found it. So that's going to go right here. We'll run power across the top. We'll have to connect these to a logic network as well so we can automate turning the vent on and whatnot, but that'll come later. Alright, let's test this real quick. If I have to put these up a third time, I'll just not do that on camera, but can I remove this iron sheet? Oh, I can. Okay, cool. So I just need the frame then. Okay, well that's good to know, I guess. Yep. Glass sheets. Oh, there's the iron sheets. Okay, perfect. And then that glass sheet is actually for that window. We don't want to necessarily put that in yet, I guess. Let's grab our pipe and our pumps. And we should move this tank then. It makes more sense to have the tank facing the other way so we can make the piping a little bit more direct. So let's actually pick this up and then rotate it a little bit so that it's facing this way. It can still be right there, but it just needs to be rotated slightly. Alright, so we need a T-junction here. We could just use the three-way corner. Let's see, can I attach the volume pump to the three-way corner? Yes. Okay, perfect. That works just fine then, and then we'll use a regular corner like this, and a regular corner right here. Okay, and then we'll need another. I'm using these volume pumps to pull all the pressure out of the pipes and put them into the canister once we make one. I couldn't find it in the fabricator, though. I guess you have to make that in the pipe bender, actually. Alright, so we'll just need to hook this guy up to here and do a little bit of logicking. So let's get that done next. Alright, so I've got all the power to everything. Let's just make sure things turn on. Yep, that turns on. The arc furnace, I didn't wire that up yet. The pumps turn on. Do both? Yep, both pumps turn on. The gas sensor thusly works as well. Alright, so the next thing we need is some logic. We're going to need a reader to read the gas sensor, the gas pressure sensor. We're going to need a comparator. And we're going to need a writer. Do we need a comparator for this? I'm not sure. I've got to see what options we can actually read from this first. So let's find our logic things in this list. It's a huge list, so it's a little bit weird. Here we go. Alright, so we need... I know we at least need 2 logic IOs. And then I think we're going to need a comparison, like a logic math. We may not need that though. So let's go with one of these first and just see what options we have with it first. Alright, so let me rotate this guy. Yeah, it does need to be a reader. And if we put the flat edge against the pipes, then we can run the cables like this all the way down. Okay, let's pull out our screwdriver. Can I do this without it connected to anything? No. Okay, so I'll have to connect up the wires for this. Alright, so I guess let's do that real quick. The cabling is... I like the way the logic networks are done in this game, but the cabling, like the rotation of the cables, is a little bit weird. I did get a tip from somebody saying that I can rebind those keys to the arrow keys, and so that apparently makes it a little bit more like understandable, more easy to understand what's going on. Here, we need to swap this out for the wire cutters. And so that's an option. That's something I could do. I don't like to rebind keys, although, I mean, in StarMade, I'm all about some rebound keys because I play with the really old key bindings that they used to have, that they used to use all the time. Okay, that goes there. Need more cable coil. Okay, well, fortunately, check this out. We just printed a bunch more. Alright, let's see if it can print the cable coil faster than I can use it. I just need, real quickly, one corner. Alright, perfect. And let's get out our screwdriver. Now, we should be able to set this to the gas sensor. Here, let's actually name these items as well, just to make it a little bit easier to tell what we're working with. We may have to add another light, too. Okay, so this gas sensor, we're going to call this furnace room sensor. Typing is hard. This, we're going to name it as furnace vent. And we may need 2 writers. One to control the vent and one to control this pump. Although, I mean, honestly, do we need this pump? I'm not sure we need this pump, to be honest. We don't really need this pump either. I just was trying to get this to be on as small of a pipe network as possible, so that's what the pumps are for. We don't technically need them at all. We technically don't need either of them. I mean, we could just make this logic activate the... So what we want to do is use this reader and test the atmosphere in that little room, and if there is any atmosphere, check the pressure. If there is any pressure, if the pressure does not equal 0, then we turn on this vent and this pump. And so that'll pull all the things out. We actually could use a passive vent, couldn't we? Since we're using a pump. But it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so let's... Furnace room sensor. What options do we have, though? So we've got pressure, temperature, ratio oxygen, ratio carbon dioxide, ratio nitrogen, ratio pollutant, volatiles, water, and then we go back around. Alright, so we do need a comparison. And then I guess we're also going to need a memory unit in that case. What did I do with those? Did I have more cable? I didn't. Alright, so we'll need a memory unit to store the 0. And then we'll need to write that to both this pump and the vent, although I'm going to switch that for a passive vent. That's just going to be easier on my logic and on my power network. Alright, so we've got our reader in place. Next we want to put... It doesn't matter what order you put these things in, it just helps me compare things better. Ooh, okay, so we're going to need wires on all sides of this one. So this one's going to be a little bit different. We'll have to put it like this. Okay, then I'm going to put down the memory. Can we put the memory here? No, because we need logic on all sides of that. Okay, so memory there. And then our writer... our writer could go like this. Alright, so we'll do that. I guess that's as small as I can get this. I don't know. This logic business is still a little bit weird to me. I'm trying to figure out the best way to wire this stuff up consistently. Still takes a little bit of practice there. Let's put away the screwdriver. Let's grab all these cable coils. Whoops, with the wrong hand. And I'm going to grab my snippers just in case. Alright, so to wire this up, let's do a junction here and here. Nope. This will need to do a four-way. This we can just do... No, we need to do a junction here as well. And here. And here. And here. Sure. This will need to be a four... Oh, okay, this can be a junction. Once I've got the wires in, I'll notice a better way to do this, probably. That's just the way this is the way I roll. Alright, so this can just be a corner. This can be a corner. This will have to be a junction. This can be a corner. And then this can be a junction. The way the logic works in this game is pretty interesting. The way you have to wire it up, it's based on networks, right? So everything that's touching with the power or data cables is on the same logic network and can see everything else on that network. So you don't have to wire them in sequence. I guess you could, but you don't have to. You just have to make sure that everything that you want, connected is on the same logic network. All right, so now let's program this. So we want to take an input from the furnace room sensor. We want to check the pressure. All right, so we want to check if the let's name these logic units as well. I guess that's probably a good idea. Okay, so this is furnace pressure. Yeah, that's good. This is... What is this? This is pressure... Furnace pressure... compare. We'll just call this 0. And this will be... furnace pump. Alright, cool. So that's all we need for that. Where's my screwdriver? There it is. Put it in my other pocket. Okay. So in from the furnace room sensor, it checks the pressure. So this thing is going to check if the furnace pressure is... this is the wrong unit. Okay. We need a drill. Let's pick this up and put it back down. We want this to be a logic compare. Yeah. Okay, and we'll name this quickly.
Oxygen critical.
My oxygen is not critical. I'm trying to test something here as well. My air tank has 5,000 kilopascals, has 5 kilopascals in it. And I keep having to flush my helmet. I wonder what happens if I don't flush my helmet. Am I gonna die? If I die, I'll respawn nearby, so it's not a big deal. I just want to find out if it's actually gonna kill me, even though I do have enough oxygen. If it does, I get a bunch of free, like stuff, so I can recycle it and make stuff out of it if I need to. Okay. Stay on the ledge cap, please. Okay, I need my screwdriver. Alright, so we're going to take the furnace pressure, as long as it is greater than 0, that is already set to 0, then this compare unit will output a high state of 1. We want to turn on the arc furnace pump. So from in here, we're going to take our input from furnace compare, and we're going to output to the arc furnace pump, and we want it to on. So if the pressure is greater than 0, that will turn on. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is wire up the arc furnace. Make sure that it has power as well. We'll just use this line. That'll be easy. We don't need to connect this to logic at all. Actually, we will, because we're going to need to automate the furnace smelting as well. So we'll do that too. But really, we can go ahead and wire it up. I'm just going to turn it on and leave it running all the time. It doesn't take a lot of power to run all the time, 5 kilowatts, I think, or 5 watts, rather. So as long as it's not smelting, it's not using a whole lot of power, we'll just leave it running. And then we'll use a circuit to detect if there's something in there, and then if there is, we'll smelt it. I'll show you that circuit as well. Alright, so the furnace is hooked up, it turns on. Now we need a way to get the ores in to and out of the furnace as it smelts. So we're going to use these chutes for that. And we should be able to do this relatively easily. All we need is an input, and then obviously an output. We can use the windowed chutes, and then that'll give us the ability to see if there's anything actually in the chutes themselves. We could do a chute inlet, and then just like throw the ores on it. I think that works. Let's test it. If we just have this open to the air like that, yeah, we should be able to just throw stuff in there. Do I have any unsmelted ore? Let's find out. One of these has ores in it. Let's see. I've got some silver, some gold, lead, silicon. Yeah, we could do silicon. Let's split half of this. And we'll just throw 25 silicon in there and see if that works. Okay, so I can't just like click and place, but if I drop it in there, looks like it took it. Alright, I'll still have to hit the button. I can't actually hit the button with the chutes like that. So, okay, but that proof of concept, right? Okay, and then we need a way to get out, and that'll be just as easy. We'll just use the chute outlet. So we'll just do a window, and maybe we do 2, and then a chute outlet. Let's have it spit this way. Now these have data ports, so you can detect like if something comes out of the outlet, then do something else. But we're not gonna need that. All right, so I have all the logic printed for the next circuit. This is an easy circuit as well. This one we're gonna do a detection. So we're going to, let's spin this over. I decided to put this on the back over here just so I'm not walking on it. I don't think it matters, but I don't know. I'm not inclined to be walking on circuitry. Okay, so let's put this one here. Yeah, that'll be fine. So this actually needs to be a reader though, so I've already screwed up. Let's get our drill just so we can fix our mistakes. Okay, so this needs to be a logic reader. We're going to read the import slot of the furnace. Okay, this is also a reader. This is going to read the output slot of the furnace. The next we need is the logic processor, and this is going to be another logic compare. That's going to compare the two against each other, and as long as they're not equal, then we will write to the furnace and activate it. So easy peasy. Let me wire this up. I don't think I have enough cables, so I'm going to have to print some more cables. But I'll go ahead and wire this up, and then we'll program it together. Alright, I think that's all the cabling I have to do. I'm still not dead, by the way. I've had that warning on there for a good couple of minutes now, and I'm not dead, so I'm kind of curious about this. Let's name these. So this one is going to be furnace input, furnace out. Here, let's do furnace in. Let's do read furnace in. Let's do read furnace out. Compare furnace contents. And activate furnace, finally. Alright, turn that off, put it away. Alright, so this one is going to take from the arc furnace. Cycle through. Okay, from the arc furnace, we want the import quantity. Okay, turn that on. There are 25 from that silicon we put in there. Okay, this one is going to read also from the arc furnace. Let's just cycle through until we find it. Arc furnace. And this one is export quantity. Alright, now this is going to compare read furnace in, not equals, read furnace out. Alright, and so this will, the input is going to be the compare furnace contents. Alright, and then it's going to print to the arc furnace, so let's cycle through till we find that. Alright, and its job is activate. When we turn it on, we should see our furnace activate. Boom! There it goes. And, oh, I forgot one of the glass panels. Okay, that should have worked. But silly me, forgot a glass sheet. Alright, so let's put that on. Maybe we can capture some of the atmosphere. I bet we lost it all. We're gonna have to smelt something else. Okay, but that worked. Now we just need to see if this pump turns on. Well, this pump turns on. And if that pump turns on, then we did it. We did a good job. So let's grab... I wish I had something other than silicon. I feel like I need that for something else, but it's fine. We'll just print this up. It's not too hard to find. We can get some more. So let's wait for that to spit out its ingots. One cool thing about this setup is we can actually come over here and see how many it has left to smelt. So it's got 7 more still in there. So we'll let that smelt, and then we'll test and see if the furnace pump comes on. Alright, still not dead. I've got my atmospheric analyzer out. That's silicon printed. So let's just check real quick. This pipe does actually have 18 kilopascals of pressure in it. So that's interesting. This pipe, however, has none. So that means there's about 18 kilopascals of pressure actually inside that vent. That means this logic isn't right. So there should be 18 kilopascals of pressure inside this room as well. So let's check this out. What's wrong with this? Yeah, so that has pressure. That's on. That's not on. That's why. That's what it is. Okay, I forgot to turn the writer on. Okay, so now we can watch this pressure drop, and once this drops down to 0, once there's no pressure in this room or in this pipe, it should be the same, then we will, cool. So we actually didn't have to smelt that other silicon at all. This works flawlessly. I'm just bad at this game, as is tradition. That is increasing in pressure greatly. Wow, 145. Okay, let's turn this off, actually, and see if we can find one of those tanks. I think those will take 60 kilopascals before the pipes explode. I'm not sure. I don't know actually what the thing is. Well, let's find out. Okay, you know what? Let's do a science. We're doing science. Let's continue doing science. Let's see if it can take this much. See if it can take all this pressure. Now, the question I have then is, since I manually turned this on, is it going to turn off with the logic once this is empty? I guess we'll watch it and find out. Alright, so the pressure in this pipe, it's still dropping. It's very slowly dropping. We may change this variable to be just like, to give it more of a tolerance. Instead of setting it to 0, instead of setting it to vacuum in that room, maybe we set it to 2 kilopascals. Because there's... I don't know, that's not very much, like, that's not very much gas in there. It's only 19 moles of each of the 3. Now 20. So that's not a lot of gas, actually. But even if we set this to 1 kilopascal, that'll keep this pump from being on all the time. I mean, I guess there's no real negative except that it's a drain of my power having it on all the time. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Should we drain this room to vacuum? I mean, I guess we should ultimately, right? And save all the gases we can. Also, I think I said 60 kilopascals before is the pipe breaking limit. I think it's actually 60 megapascals. So we have a lot of pressure before we actually have a problem. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Stationeers. If you enjoyed yourself or if you learned something, let me know in the comments. A like on the video is much appreciated as well. And subscribe to my channel for more space goodness. I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned. Oh look, I did finally black out. So, alright, good to know. Thanks for watching.